Hello friends, once again welcome back in a video series of C programming by TechBooster. So friends, here in this video we learn about call by value and call by reference, and this is another important topic which comes under your pointer. So our first question here is, what is call by value? So in order to understand what is call by value, we need to move back towards our concept of function. Call by value is nothing but calling a function by its value as its parameter. So here I have considered an example. Here you can see here add is my function, and here I have considered two value a comma b. So I am basically calling this particular function by its value a comma b, and here ab is also known as your actual parameter because these are the parameter which is passed to a function. Now if you want to create this particular function, here you can see I have created this particular function where I have considered int x comma int y. This int x comma int y is also known as your formal parameter because these parameters are received by a function. Here a and b are your actual parameter because these are passed to a function, and your x and y are your formal parameters because these are received by a function. Here this value of a will be passed to your x and this value of b will be passed to your y. So this is my call by value where we are calling this function add by its value a comma b. Now we need to understand what is call by reference. Call by reference basically means here we are calling our function by its address instead of its value. So again I'll consider the same example add function, and here in this case instead of considering a and b I'm considering the address of a and address of b. So this is my call by reference. Now to how to create this particular function, here you can see this is my function. Here I have considered int pointer x comma int pointer y. Here basically I'm considering pointer because your pointer is only capable of holding an address. Your normal variable can hold only normal value, not address. Now here I have considered pointer x comma pointer y, and then I have returned pointer x plus pointer y. Here in both the cases we'll get same output. Only difference is here I am working by value and here I am working by reference. So guys, now I will consider an example which will make your this particular concept, that is call by value and call by reference, even more clear. And my example here will be swapping of two numbers. We'll basically swap two numbers, and first of all we'll consider our call by value. So here you can see I have considered my main function, and in my main function I have considered two variables. One is your x. In my x I am storing value 10, and my second variable is y where I am storing value 20. Now if you print or if you use this particular line printf before swap x equals to and y equals to, so this will give your output before swap x equals to 10, y equals to 20. That is the value of x and y before using your swap function. Now we will use our swap function using call by value. Here I have used this swap function by calling value x comma y. Now I'll show you how to create this particular function swap. So here you can see here I have considered void because my function is not returning anything. Then I have considered two variables a and b. Here I have considered int a and int b. So here the value of x will be passed to a and the value of y will be passed to b. Now your a will hold 10 and your b will hold 20. Your a is holding 10 and your b is holding 20. But you need to remember here your a and b are your native variables. Your a and b are your native variables, and you can use this variable in this particular function only. Now in this particular function I have considered another variable temp. So here you can see this is my temp, and in my temp I am storing the value of a, that is I am storing the value of a which is 10. Now what I am writing, a is equals to b. A is equals to B. So in B we have 20. So here basically I am updating the value of A to 20, and then I'm storing the value of temp in B. That is, I'm updating the value of B to 10. So here you can see now in A I have 20 and in B I have 10. So once you are done with this particular function, we'll come back to our main function. And here in this case, if you use this particular line printf after swap x and y, then what will be your output? Here you can see your x is still 10 and your y is still 20. Your x is still 10 and your y is still 20. So once you print this particular line, after swap your x will be 10 and after swap your y will be 20. So basically here in this particular main function, your value of x and y will not swap. Our swapping function is operating in this swap function only. Once you come back here in main function, you will have the same value of x and same value of y, because here this a and b are your native variables. Once you are done with this one, they will be destroyed. Now let me show you this one by using code block. So this is my code block. Here we'll start with our header file, include studio.h. So I'll have my main function. Now here I'm considering int x comma y. X equals to 10, y equals to 20. Now here what we'll do, we'll print our initial value or value before swap. So I'm writing print f before swap x equals to %d, then I'm using tab here, and y equals to %d. Then here you will have your x comma y. So this will give you your value of x and y before swapping. Now let me use my return function here. So here if I run this particular program, you'll get your value of x and y. You can see before swap your x is 10 and your y is 20. Now we'll use our swap function here. We'll use our swap function by call by value. Swap like x comma y. So this is my swap function. Now we need to create this particular function here. So let me create this particular function, void swap. Here we need to consider int a comma int b separately. If you want, you can also consider int x comma int y. That does not matter because these are your native variables. Now here in this case, what I'm doing, I'm creating another variable temp, and here I'm storing my value of a in temp. Now I'll consider a equals to b, that is I'm storing the value of b in a, and again I'll consider b equals to temp, that is I'm storing the value of temp in b. Now you'll be successfully able to swap your variables a and b. And once you are done with this particular function, you'll come back to your main function, and here in this main function, if you now try to print the value of x and y after this swap function, let me just copy this particular line and I'll replace this before with after swap, and here I'll just use /n for new line. And here, as I have created this particular function, I need to declare my function or else I'll get a warning. So let me declare my function void swap int comma int. So this is my function declaration. And once you are done, now if you run this particular program, what will be your value of x and y after this swap function? So let me run this one. And here you can see your value of x and y is still same. It's still 10 and 20. Here you have not been able to swap your values by using this swap function, where we have used the concept of call by value. This call by value is not been able to swap your value, because here in this function, as we are using native variable, Once you are done with this particular function, your variables will be destroyed and your x and y will still be the same. Now, how to tackle this particular issue? How to tackle this one? In order to tackle this one, you need to understand the concept of call by reference. Now let us move back towards our slide and understand the concept of call by reference. So here this is my call by reference, and here in this case, instead of passing my variables or values, what I'll do, I'll pass the address of those particular variables. Here you can see I've considered the same example, and here in this case what I'm doing, I've considered my variable x, my variable y. Here in x I have 10 and in y I have 20, and I need to consider their address as well. Now here let me consider the address of x to be 100 and address of y to be 200. These are my address of x and y variable. Now I'll consider my swap function where I will use call by reference. So here you can see swap and x comma and y. Here basically I'm considering address of variable x and address of variable y. Now how to create this particular function? So here you can see I have considered void again because my function is not returning anything. Then here I have considered int pointer a comma pointer b because your address can only be held by pointer. So I cannot consider a normal variable here. I need to consider this special type of variable which is pointer. So I have considered pointer a and pointer b. If you want, you can also consider pointer x and pointer y. Your name of variable or name of pointer doesn't matter. So now here I am storing the address of x in a and I am storing the address of variable y in b. So here in a you will have 100 and in b you will have 200. That is the address of x and address of y. Now within this curly bracket I have considered another variable temp. So this is my variable temp, and in this temp I am storing pointer a. So what is your pointer a? So a is nothing but 100. That is an address. So pointer a means the value that you have in this particular address. So what value do you have in this 100 address? You have 10. That is in temp we are storing 10. So in temp we are storing 10. Then in my next line what we have is pointer a is equals to pointer b. So what is pointer b? B is your 200 and pointer b means value that you have in this address 200, which is nothing but 20, and pointer a is your 10. So what I am doing, I am replacing 10 with 20. That is I am storing 20 in x now. So you can see now I have 20 in x. Again in my next line what I have written, pointer b is equals to 20 temp. Pointer b is your 20 and temp is your 10. Now here what we are doing, we are replacing 20 with 10. So you have 10 in y now. So guys, now after this function you will come back to your main function again, and here in this case if you print your value of x and y, you will have 20 in x and 10 in y. So this is our call by reference, and by using this particular concept of call by reference you can successfully swap your two numbers. Now let me show you the same thing in code block. So here in this case what I'll do, I'll use the address of x and I'll use the address of y, and here I need to consider pointer a and I need to consider pointer b. Then again here temp will be equal to pointer a and I need to consider pointer a is equals to pointer b. That is I am replacing 10 with 20. Again here I need to consider pointer b equals to 10. That is I am replacing 20 by 10. So once you are done with this particular function, you will come back to your main function, and here in your function declaration you need to consider int pointer comma int pointer. Okay, so once we are done, if you run this particular program now, you will have your output. So here you can see after swap value of x is 20 and value of y is 10. Now we have been able to successfully swap our values by using the concept of call by reference. So guys, this is the advantage of using your call by reference, because here we are working with our address, And I hope now your concept of call by value and call by reference is clear. Even though if you have any doubt, you need to go through the video once again. You need to practice each and every line, and definitely everything will be clear. So guys, I will see you in my next video. Till then, you need to practice and then you need to move forward towards your next video. So guys, take care and bye-bye.